having a fantastic day full of fantastic things in it, as always. And for today's video, first and foremost, before we go into it, I'm sorry that this is the only video that I've posted this week. I told you guys last week that I was going to start doing 2 videos a week. I apologize. I actually did record something, but the recording messed up. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the recording program that I use, or if it was the internet, or if I don't know what it was. And it was a camo grind video, and I was actually looking forward to that. It was the Val 46. I believe that's what it was. It's the SMG. You guys know what I mean. We've been working on those, by the way, to get gold on the SMGs. Yeah. I apologize. The recording messed up, and I got gold without you guys. I apologize. I am working on a shotgun, actually, so that will be with you next week. That'll be with you. That'll be coming to you next week. That'll be coming to you next week. I promise that will be. But let's get into today's video. So, I don't know if you guys have heard about the content creator. Let me pull y'all here a little closer. This is serious business today. I don't know if you guys have heard of the content creator. She's pretty well known, particularly in the Call of Duty realm of things. Noisy Butter is the content creator name. She's actually one of my favorite content creators, and definitely an inspiration as far as content creating goes. Look, she came out with a video the other day about doing a tier list of the Call of Duty games, and she did it based on multiplayer. Now, when this video came out, quite a few of you on Twitter, of all places, tagged me in the video. And I'm looking at you, Eric. Yes, you, Eric Bell. I'm looking at you. A lot of you tagged me in the video, and as some on other platforms tagged me in it as well. And I have gotten the hints from you guys. I have taken the hint. You guys are wanting me to do this. At least that's the way I'm reading it. You guys are wanting me to do this tier list. Before she did it based on the multiplayer side of COD. I'm going to base it on campaign. Now, when we look, there's a few reasons why. First and foremost, I really didn't get into multiplayer. Growing up, I was really into the story part of Call of Duty. I was really into that part of it. I only dabbled in the multiplayer and zombies up until really recently. I became serious about the multiplayer side of things in Modern Warfare 2019. Yeah, it took that long for me, but I was really in it for the story part of Call of Duty. I dabbled in it, so I know enough about the multiplayers too, and zombies, by the way. And by the way, I'll do a zombie tier one day, because y'all know we love zombies on here. But yeah, so today, that is why when we get to the ones that I really did start getting serious about multiplayer, I'll start talking about multiplayer more and kind of basing it on both. But until then, we're going to purely base it on really the campaign and story part of this, of Call of Duty, just because that is what I really played Call of Duty for growing up, which I know was weird, but really, growing up, I have friends now that play video games, but growing up, I was really the only one that played video games. So I really didn't have a chance to really sit down and play multiplayer with friends up until recently. So yeah, and it does have Warzone on there. And I'm going to give you my hot takes on some of the ones that of more recent. I'm going to give you some hot takes on those as well. And feel free, before we go any further, feel free in the comments to comment on what maybe you would change, or maybe what's your favorite Call of Duty campaign, because we are primarily basing this on the campaign. So I'm going to send you guys over there. I'm excited to do this, Ashley, and I'm glad that you guys were wanting me to. You guys were wanting to see me do this, so I appreciate it, guys. So I'm going to send you guys over there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and go. Okay, so here we are. I have a feeling I'm going to get into trouble. I have a feeling because I have my strong opinions, particularly when it comes to the campaign side of things. Okay, I do. Again, we're doing it really based on the campaigns. We'll get into some of the multiplayer, but we're really going to base it on campaigns because growing up, I really was in it for the story part of it, and also because actually I really wasn't actually allowed to own any Call of Duty games until Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I was able to own that one. So that was my really first Call of Duty that I was able to own. The ones prior to that, I really went over to my cousin's house and played. I know, that's weird. But I was allowed to go over there and play them. So anyway, yeah, so I don't feel adequate enough to base it on multiplayer until we get to the ones that are, that I really start to take the multiplayer seriously. One day, again, I'll do a Call of Duty Zombie one because we love Call of Duty Zombies on here. But yeah, I really didn't start getting serious about it. I know I was late to the party, but I really didn't get serious about it until this one. I didn't, and that's primarily because I was starting to do Call of Duty content for you guys. I was starting to stream. I was starting to do all that, and I was really looking for a game that I was actually decent at, so I could start really focusing on one game. And it ended up being this game. It ended up being Call of Duty. And really, honestly, I love Call of Duty. I've loved Call of Duty for a very, very long time. And yeah, I remember when Call of Duty 2 came out. That's how long I've been really loving Call of Duty. So it was a no-brainer for me to start making more Call of Duty content for you guys. And I do Let's Play and share secrets. But really, I really do more Call of Duty content for you guys than I do anything else. So anyway, here we go. Since we are basting this, and before I do this, if you have watched me on my stream, for those of you who do not know, I've kind of stepped away from streaming. I'm turning my streams into charity events. That's basically what I am doing now, so I can focus more on doing content like this. But if you guys have been last summer, then you know which one I'm about to put as number one, as S tier. And you guys know, this is a hot take as the best Call of Duty campaign, and we're just gonna put this right here. I know. Let me explain myself. I think Call of Duty Ghost, I know the multiplayer was all over the place, and I agree with everything that's said with the multiplayer. Again, I dabbled in the multiplayer at this time in my Call of Duty career. But as far as story goes, this is arguably, to me, the best campaign Call of Duty has done. Now, I know that's a hot take right there. And I know that's saying something because the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and some of the Black Ops stuff, we'll get into that in a minute. But as far as that period of time when Call of Duty was trying things new, I call it kind of their searching time, their searching and experimenting time, when Advanced Warfare came out, and when Infinite Warfare came out as well, and then Call of Duty Ghost came out. Yeah, out of those, Ghost was my favorite, and more I've played the Ghost campaign over the years. It's become my favorite. You care about the characters. It's definitely a father and son relationship with his sons. There are two sons, and it's about also the relationship between the sons and the ending. I'm not gonna spoil the ending. One day I want to do a video based on this campaign. I want to play it for you guys and put it into chapters and things like that. But the ending is whoa. The ending on this game, and let's just say it's a sad thing that they did not continue this. Ghost is in other things. I love Ghost, and little known fact here, he is kind of my video game crush. He's a really cool cat. He's a really cool guy. And I really like Ghost. And even though it's kind of a different version of him than it is in this one, I still like him. I love anything Ghost. He's arguably my favorite character in the Call of Duty franchise. I know, another hot take there. And that's hard to say because I love Soap and Price as well, Captain Price, the man himself. But yeah, I would say that Ghost is probably the best campaign, in my opinion, that Call of Duty has done. Now, let's go ahead and do the one that I do not... this is the one I like the least, and we're just going to put this down right here. This is a hard no, Infinite Warfare. The zombies were okay. I did play some of the zombies, but this is a hard no. This game was not Call of Duty for me. I've never not finished a Call of Duty campaign, and I stopped mid-game, Call of Duty campaign because I just wasn't enjoying it. To me, it was not Call of Duty. They were trying to be Mass Effect, which I adore Mass Effect, and they were trying to be Mass Effect, and it just was not happening for me. It just wasn't. It was during that period of time, actually, when Mass Effect was the big game, and so I think they were trying to catch kind of that wave, but yeah, it just didn't work out for them. I'm going to go ahead and put the first Call of Duty right here. Yeah, I never played the first Call of Duty. In fact, I'm going to share something with you guys. I want to go through all of the Call of Duty campaigns from start to finish according to their release dates. I want to do that for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would be interested in something like that. But yeah, I've never played that one. I played a little bit of 2, but I barely did. So we're going to put this right here as well. I liked 2, the little bit I remember of it. I was so young when it came out. The little bit I remember, it was all right. From what I remember, it's funny. These 3, we're going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to put this as a hard no as well because I do remember playing this. The first 3 Call of Duties was in a time period where also this other first-person shooter was really big. It was Medal of Honor, and it was during that time. And actually, I'm going to be honest, during this period of time, even though I did play a little bit of Call of Duty 2, and I did play Call of Duty 3, that would be one that I would go over to my cousin's house too, and play. I will say that I was actually more into Medal of Honor of all things at this period of time. I think because, in my opinion, it just looked flashier at that time. But yeah, so I'm going to put Call of Duty 3 here because and maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I would change my mind when I go through these campaigns one day. But yeah, we're going to put that here. Let's go on. Let's go on here. Let's see here. What is the next thing? I'm going to go ahead and put Blackout as a no. No, not as a no, excuse me. As a never played. I have never played Blackout. I have never played Blackout, and this is actually going to surprise people too. I have never really played Black Ops 4. I have played it a little bit, but this was the period of time when I was really into, again, the story part of Call of Duty. So when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out and it wasn't going to have a campaign, I just didn't buy the game. I would go over to actually a friend's house and play it, and my cousin's house. But I never really have given... I don't feel like I can say that I've played them. I don't feel like I can say that. So yeah, we're going to put those here. Now let's see here. Let's see here. Let's do this one. The first Modern Warfare game. I have played this. We're gonna put it in the B tier. It was good. It was not what number 2 was. But it was good. It was a good Call of Duty campaign, and it was actually the one that started it all. And so, you know what? Actually, I'm going to put it on A. It was the one that started it all. It was a good start. In fact, I feel like that it wasn't for this Call of Duty game, we would not have what Call of Duty is today. So yeah, I think this one is a special one for the Call of Duty community. But actually, you know, I'm going to put it down here. But it does, going back, guys, going back. It did have its issues. It did, but it was fun for what the time was, and it did start off the best one. It did start off arguably the best storyline in the Call of Duty franchise, other than Ghost. It did start off arguably the best storyline. So you know what, maybe we might keep it here. We may, but that may change. But let's move on to Call of Duty World at War. We're gonna put this right here as well. This was also kind of a important one to the Call of Duty community because of zombies. This was the introduction into zombies. This was a good campaign. It's arguably the best Call of Duty World War II campaign that they've had. So you know what? I actually may put this up here for that reason. It is the best Call of Duty World War II campaign. It is the best one that they've done, in my opinion. It is the best one. Yeah, it's the best one. And this was the introduction into zombies, which I did play a little bit of. Again, I really didn't get into the zombie era until later on. But yeah, I did play some of the zombies here, and the story was good. It was decent, and again, it kind of jump-started something. I primarily, the campaign, and I'm tempted to put this back up here. I don't know. We'll think about that in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, moving on. Let's go to Modern Warfare 2. We're going to put that right up here. Modern Warfare 2 is definitely an S tier. The story was great. The guns were good in that game. It just was, look, this was good, right? This was good. Modern Warfare 2 was good. This was even better. This was a huge step up from this. And that's kind of rare in Call of Duty nowadays, being a step up, because I believe the more the games go, they should be a step above each other. Call of Duty has not, in the past few years, I don't feel like has done very well at stepping up with every game that they've released. And they did do that with this. They stepped it up. And this is definitely an S tier. This is definitely, arguably, a lot of people would put this here. A lot of people would put this here instead of Ghost. But Ghost, to me, still, the character-wise and as a singular story, because I don't think they'll ever finish the story, it's it has everything that you want in the story. But look, Modern Warfare 2 is still, it is still very, very good. Now let's move on to Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people would put this at a no. And I understand why. I'm not going to. Here's why. This was the first Call of Duty game that I actually was able to own, and I played the whatever out of this campaign. So for that reason, for nostalgic reasons, I'm not going to put it as a no. I understand why people would put it as a no. But I understand, but it just holds a special place in my heart. It owns a very special place in my heart. So I'm going to put this here. For sure fact that for it being special to me, I'm going to put it here. But I also know in hindsight why people would put it at a hard no. But I actually thought it was a decent campaign. I don't think it's a no. Let's move on to Black Ops, the original Black Ops. We're going to go ahead and put this. We're going to go ahead. Ooh, where we want to put it? It's between A and B. We're going to go ahead and put this. Ooh, we're going to put it. Ooh, this is hard. I can change it later. I'm acting like this is final. We're going to go ahead and put it here. Let's put it here. And for several reasons. It's jump-started another good series, Call of Duty story. It jump-started another good series. And Treyarch is arguably the best when it comes to Call of Duty games, in my opinion. And the campaign was good. But I don't know. I may put it at S tier. I may put it at B tier. Because it was good, and this is actually when they took zombies seriously. This is where it started, and this is where it started to become zombies. And for that reason, I think it belongs in B tier alone for the zombie reasons. In fact, if this was for zombies, we might put it up in the S tier just because it was a jump start to something. The campaign was good, had memorable characters. So yeah, I think that this belongs in the B section. I do. I may change that later, but I do believe that it belongs in the B section. Let's move on to Black Ops 2. We are definitely going to put this in the A tier. If this was Call of Duty Zombies, we would be putting this at arguably the #1 spot, if not the #2 or 3. This is when I think Call of Duty, one of the games that when Call of Duty was at its best. The campaign was incredible. The zombies were really good in this game. And the Easter eggs in this game. Yeah, y'all know my Did You Knows. The Easter eggs in this game were really good. Particularly the zombie end of things. The story was good. The characters were good. I love Jason. I love Mace. I love all those guys. And so yeah, I absolutely love. And they had, again, memorable characters. So that belongs in the A tier. Now with Advanced Warfare. At one point, I would put it at a hard no. Because at the time, I actually did finish this campaign. But at the time, it didn't grab me. It didn't grab me. However, now that I have hindsight, I'm going to put it here at the C tier. The campaign was good. It actually it did have Kevin Spacey in it. And it had some people in it. Actually, this is when Call of Duty started to get actors to come in and play parts. This was the start of it. And looking back, it's actually a good story. The story itself is really, really, really good. The campaign was really, really good. I was about to say campaign. It was really multiplayer that I was going to say. The multiplayer, again, I played a little bit of it. It was all right. It was all right. It wasn't a total loss. But it has a lot of controversy around it because of the jetpacks. And that is the reason why this game has a lot of controversy around it because of it. Look, Call of Duty, that was Call of Duty, in my opinion, being very creative. And I miss that Call of Duty. So I will say that Advanced Warfare was really inventive. And so actually was Black Ops 4, going back and seeing videos about it and stuff. These two were very inventive. Yeah, this again was kind of in that era, Infinite Warfare. Yeah, no, that was a hard no. It went too far. It wasn't boots on the ground, and I feel like that's what Call of Duty has to have, at least, is to have boots on the ground, and that is not what this was. And this also, by the way, may have been their answer kind of to Halo as well, because Halo is arguably kind of the only one that has ever been kind of to go up against Call of Duty, if you will, as far as first-person shooter. I know they're different. But as far as first-person shooter, it's probably the one that is their biggest competitor, and this is probably them trying to answer that as well. But yeah, I think Advanced Warfare does belong here. I wouldn't mind it. There is a rumor going around that they are working on Advanced Warfare 2, so we'll see. I would not be opposed to Advanced Warfare 2. I definitely would not be opposed to a Call of Duty Ghost 2, or just so I can know what happens next in the story. That story was incredible, man. Whew. I want to play that again. Maybe I'll play that really soon for you guys for a charity thing. I would really like to do that. Anyway, moving on to excuse me, Black Ops 3. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Black Ops 3 deserves a place at S tier. Some people would have put this as S tier, but I'm going to put this here. The campaign was good. Some people didn't like it. I loved it. I loved the campaign. I thought the campaign was really good, actually. The multiplayer, the little bit that I played, this is actually when I start to kind of play multiplayer more. I thought it was really good, and the zombies in this game was incredible. So yeah, this definitely belongs at S tier. And story-wise, it was very good. It was a clean story. It was a very good story. Now moving on to World War II. I would put this at a if you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have put this here, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to put it at C tier. The story in this, in fact, if we're going by story, I may put it here. Story-wise, this Call of Duty had a fantastic story. You cared about the characters. History-wise, it was very good as well. It had everything in the story that you would want to have. It was really about the bond that these guys had in World War II. They were facing a lot of evil. And they really bonded and they stood up for one another. And I love that about this game. And this also had some celebrities in it playing parts in it. The acting was good in it. The characters, you cared about them. You cared about what happened to them. And this arguably was the first time that the graphics actually start to look really real, right? This is when they started to kind of move away from a little bit of pixely and they start to do this. So yeah, I'm going to put this at B. It could arguably be down at C because of the multiplayer. I did play a little bit of the multiplayer and I will say that it definitely did suffer. However, as far as story, because we are primarily going by story, this belongs here. Now let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and I was about to do this one. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do this one. It's never played. This is actually a Call of Duty online game. I did not know that this existed until a few months ago. I did not. This actually did not release in the US. I believe it didn't. So this is actually something that the rest of the world had, but we did not have it here. So I've heard it's actually good. The little bit that I've seen, it actually looks decent, but I don't know. I've never played it before. So that belongs here. Let's go to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. We're going to put this up right here. I actually might I'm tempted to put it here because the multiplayer in this game, this is where I'm going to start talking about multiplayer. First and foremost, the story was really, really good. Really, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the story in this game. It was a very good reintroducing of Captain Price and several others as well. It was a very good story. I thoroughly enjoyed. In fact, maybe this does belong here. This is also when I love the movement in this game. Again, this is when I started to get into multiplayer and to take it seriously and start grinding out camos and things like that. And this multiplayer was incredible. We have not had a multiplayer like this ever since this game. The multiplayers have slowly declined, in my opinion. And this was just a good all-around COD, and arguably is the best all-around COD, in my opinion. And this is also when we're going ahead and do Warzone. We're going to put this up at S tier as well. We'll put it down here. This was a good time. If you were a Call of Duty fan, this was Call of Duty, in my opinion, at the height of Call of Duty. This was when Call of Duty was Call of Duty to me. And let's go ahead and talk about Warzone 1. I actually kind of came in at Warzone 1 towards the end of Verdansk because, again, I was about the only one of my friends who played Call of Duty. Up till recently towards the end, I started to play it, and I will say, I can see why people miss Verdansk. Was it perfect? No, but it was good for that period of time, definitely, because we were all in lockdown at that time. And some people think actually that that's the reason why people are just wanting it back for memories and things like that. I actually think that Verdansk was a good map. Was it the best map that it could have been? No, but it actually wasn't a bad map. It wasn't a bad map, and there's a part of me, and we'll get into this a little bit when we get into Warzone 2, but really, honestly, they should have built onto, if you think about the way Fortnite works, they build onto their map. Even though they have events of next chapter and stuff, there's always something familiar in the map for people. And I think that's one of the missteps that Call of Duty has done in Warzone. But we'll get into that in a minute. But yes, the first Warzone was definitely S tier as far as. And look, I'm going to repeat in a little bit what Noisy Butter said, but I'll go ahead and say it actually. She described it really well. She said that Warzone 1 was a Call of Duty game that happened to be a BR. And a Warzone 2 is a true BR. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, I think that's why, some of the reason why Warzone 2 has gone the way it has gone. But again, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's go on to, let's see here. Let's go ahead and do this one. I think this is the remastered one. Yeah, this is the remastered one. I actually did not play the remastered. We're going to put that here. I never played the remaster. I actually heard mixed reviews on it. That's why I never did the remaster. And honestly, I didn't feel like spending money on something that I had already played. But I heard some people that I knew liked it, some people didn't. So I'm going to put that there. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the Call of Duty, really the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare remastered. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I can't really say. Now let's go let's do this. This is good. This is actually the multiplayer version on your phone. This is the Call of Duty app. This is the I have played it. In fact, a little known fact, I used to do competitions for the mobile version of Call of Duty. There we go. I'll get it in a minute. The mobile version of Call of Duty. I actually did some competitions and some tournaments with it. It's decent. It's good. It is really good. And particularly because they're about to have this come to this. This could easily blow up more and more because this is going to come to this. Verdansk is going to come to Call of Duty Mobile, and it could easily overtake I think it could easily overtake. It could easily become the PUBG Mobile. Let's put it that way. It could easily overtake the original series of Call of Duty. It could easily become an S tier. It easily could be. Because of that, because Verdansk is coming back, and because of the state of Warzone 2 is right now, it could easily become one of the top things Call of Duty has done. It's very good. I actually enjoy it. It's very good. It's very good. Now moving on. Let's do today's Call of Duty. I have my strong opinions about this. For right now, I'm going to put it in. I want to put it in C or B. I don't know. We'll think about it in a minute. But let's talk about it. I have my thoughts. Has it gotten better since the launch? Yes. But there's not much improvement to the game. Movement wise, look, Call of Duty is, because now this is the game that we're on now, and as y'all know, I'm playing multiplayer, so I am going to talk about the multiplayer. I have a lot of problems with the multiplayer. It has gotten better, but the biggest issue that I have is movement. That is the biggest issue that I have. They have improved it, but not by much. They have not improved it by much. I also don't like, I thought the campaign was fine. It was a good campaign. It didn't wow me. It was a little confusing. But honestly, actually, since we're ranking it to campaign-wise, then I will put that there. Because campaign-wise, it wasn't horrible, but it was a little bit all over the place. But it did introduce some interesting characters into the Call of Duty franchise. And I like that. I also like Soap and Ghost. Of course, Ghost. Y'all know I love Ghost. And because of Ghost, primarily because of Ghost. This was the return of Ghost. And I also like Soap in his relationship throughout the whole entire game. And Price, the man himself, was there. Story-wise, it wasn't bad. It was a little all over the place, but it wasn't bad. Multiplayer-wise, If we were going by multiplayer alone, it would belong here. But since we are going by that, we will put that there. Yeah, the multiplayer has improved, but not by much. And this is where we're going to come into, I'm saving these two for last because I have a real hot take on these two. But we're going to put this at a hard no. I know this is going to ruffle some feathers. Warzone 2 is very interesting. It's in a very interesting state right now. I'm going to say again what Noisy Butter said, and I agree with her. This was a Call of Duty game that happened to be a BR. This is a pure BR that is arguably not a Call of Duty game. I don't feel like that this is their best showing. I feel like that I do think Ashika Island is not half bad, and do I think that and do I play it with you guys? I've done community nights with you guys for this. I do think for that it is, and maybe now maybe it belongs here then. Because I do feel like it is worth doing community nights with, but I'm not grinding it like I started to play this. With Rebirth Island and stuff, yeah, I'm not playing it like I did this. This is the flaws of what this game shows up in this 10 times more than what it does here. And that's because this is multiplayer. And multiplayer, despite the flaws, you can still find a way to play with slower movement. But the way that El Mazrah is, and I'm a little upset about this Call of Duty because El Mazrah is arguably one of the best maps in BRs right now. It's a very good map, but because the movement is so slow and the pacing is so slow, that I have actually played this game with friends and by myself, and I have not run into anybody until there was at least 10 people left in the whole map. And even then, sometimes it was taken for 5 of us to be left. That is a huge problem to Call of Duty with this game, and it's a huge problem because you are known to be kind of an arcade shooter, and that's the biggest problem. So actually I'm going to put it at a hard no because I have a lot of issues with this. I like the realism of it, but you can make realism into arcade as well. Anyway, that's my hot take on it. Let's go to Cold War. If we're going to buy story, it belongs in the B section. If we were going to go by multiplayer, it would be by this. If we were going to go by zombies, it would be here. But since we're going by story, we're going to put it at B. Story-wise, it's a very good story. Very, very, very good story. It's a really good story. They did a very good job with the story, with the campaign. They brought back Mace. They brought back several characters that was missing in Black Ops 3. They brought some of them back. And they brought Jason back. That was missing. I love seeing Jason in this thing. I loved this game. I loved the campaign. It was a very good campaign. And zombie-wise, it's arguably the best I think Call of Duty Zombies has been. It was a very good zombies. It had a lot of Easter eggs in it. And it also has a lot of variety. It had Outbreak in the zombies, and it had round-based zombies. So it had everything. And by the way, for those of you who do not know, Outbreak was basically a BR. It was open world, but it had certain tasks in the world. On each map, it was an open map, I should say, and it had tasks throughout the whole thing for you to do. I loved it. And I love that. I loved the round base as well in this. Yeah, Forsaken was great. Anyway, yeah, I think that as far as if we were going by multiplayer, it would be here. But since we're going by story, it belongs here. Now, I'll say Vanguard for last because I have a hard take. We're going to put this on. No, we're going to put this at a hard no. Vanguard could easily have been a very good Call of Duty. It had a lot of potential to it. The first thing that I want to talk about, first and foremost, I actually missed the movement of Vanguard. Particularly now since we're on this one. this one right here, Modern Warfare 2, I miss the movement of Vanguard. I don't miss the game. I just miss the movement that this provided. Which is controversial, I know, because some people thought it was too fast, and I get that. But to me, still, the movement just was, I enjoyed the movement. That was actually one of the pros. I did pros and cons of Vanguard, and that was actually the top pro, was the movement in this. I miss the movement of this. I wish the movement of this could be in this, and we would have a great game then. And also they cater to it more. They're starting to cater to this one more, but not as much. And speaking of cater to, this Vanguard was not catered to hardly at all. It had a lot of potential. First and foremost, before you go any further and you say that it was because of it was a World War II game, I'm going to tell you guys something here. I firmly believe that if they had catered to this game, if they had made this game right, it wouldn't have all the bugs and stuff that this game had in it. We wouldn't care. If it was a good game, would we really care? If it was World War II, I don't think that we would. I know I wouldn't. In fact, I like that era. And to say that they can't be creative with it, let me introduce you to Captain America. Maybe I'll have something pop up here of Captain America. Captain America started in World War II. He was a guy that was injected with strengthening stuff, and he became the super soldier. So to say that they can't put super soldier stuff in a World War II game is not accurate. They can put it in there. They just didn't do that. Another misstep by them, and I will die on this hill, is Champion Hill. No pun intended. Champion Hill in this game could have easily have been one of the most popular things Call of Duty could have done with Call of Duty, but they did not cater to it. Once it came out, they catered hardly to the multiplayer, but they really didn't cater to Champion Hill. They stopped. I don't know why that they stopped catering to Champion Hill. They could have given us new little maps. For those of you who do not know, Champion Hill was basically gunfight, but you would basically each team, you'll get closer and closer and closer. You maybe, I can't remember how many teams, we're going to say 10 teams, and you would get closer and closer to where there was only 2 of you left. That's why it was called Champion Hill. And that could have been something incredible for the Call of Duty community. They missed it. They missed it. And they missed it because they didn't cater to it. We needed new maps, little mini maps, because that's what you would play on. Little arenas, I should say. They did not give us any new arenas. And on top of that, because of the problems with the game that really showed up in Champion Hill, and on top of that, it should have been free. I'm going to go out there and limb and said that Champion Hill should have been free. It should have been either connected with Warzone or its own thing, but it should have been free. Because if it would have been free, I firmly believe that thing would have taken off. Because particularly, because not everyone's a BR person. And this could have been something that Call of Duty could have given some people that weren't necessarily BR people, but this could have given them some competition right here. And look, I'm going to go even further. This could have easily have been something for esports. Call of Duty esports. This easily could have been for Champion Hill, and they missed the mark. In fact, I think that's the biggest downfall of Vanguard, because of the mark that they missed with Champion Hill. The story-wise actually wasn't bad. If we were going to do story, I might put it at C. It actually wasn't that bad. But as a game overall, it wasn't that good. It was not that good. They had a lot of missed opportunities here, and don't even get me going about the zombies. That zombies did not know what it wanted to be. It did not know what it wanted to be. But anyway, there you go. Let's see. I think I've been a little generous here. Let's see. Do I want to change anything, though? I know, I think everything looks good, particularly this. I have not played any of those. I actually want to try, because some people have gone back to Blackout. I'm tempted to go get this and go to Blackout. And I actually think I've heard, and from what I've seen people play, Blackout could have easily have been this. But it wasn't free at the time, which is why it didn't explode like this did, I think. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. There's my Call of Duty tier of the campaigns, and with a little bit of side things there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Because look, look, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion on these games. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. You are free to disagree with me. As far, because we are primarily going through, according to campaigns, Ghost is #1 to me. It just is. It was a good Call of Duty campaign. It was. It had characters that I cared about, and it had a very good ending, which is why I think Call of Duty should do a Ghost 2, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, let me know in the comments below your opinion about this. I'm sorry that this video is long, but yeah, I wanted to do this for you guys because you guys had tagged me in that video so much. But like, comment, and subscribe. You do not have to, but I would love for you to, and I will see you in the next video, well, that you see me in. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. I might go play some Ghost. I feel like playing some Ghosts now. And actually, the zombie part, it was called Extinction, of Call of Duty Ghosts, actually wasn't that bad. It was actually decent. The little bit I played of it. In fact, maybe I should go play that. I don't know. I may go play Ghosts. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.